Let us find the treasures together, as I'll start off with. Preator is a 2D hack-and-slash roguelike game, where you can fight the enemies in a single stage as long as you want, as well as getting a variety of upgrades. However, keep in mind that the game will be harder the longer you stay, so you must be on the move, otherwise the enemy might get too strong for you to handle. Labyrinth of the Witch is a simple and light-hearted roguelike game, where you explore the dungeon while taking care of your hunger during the trip. The combat is so simple that you can play the entire game with just one hand. Not only there are normal dungeons, but there is also speedrun dungeon, where you can try getting out of the dungeon at the fastest time. The free version already has a solid amount of content, so that you don't really have to buy the paid version. Dragon Hunter is an idle RPG game where you can upgrade your hero for as long as you want by doing the works outside of the battlefield. You can collect the bounty and sell for money, or you can gather resources to upgrade equipment as well as getting the treasures. And when you think you are powerful enough, you can put yourself into arena and dungeon, where you will begin testing your power against various enemies. B100X is an auto-dungeon RPG game, where you just need to watch your hero, named Holly, fighting through the enemy. The game doesn't have shop with items, and instead every item can be collected in dungeon, and you can mix the items to combine the stats that can boost your hero even further. It is crucial to keep Holly alive during the journey, as the game limits on how many times we can revive her per day. Soda Dungeon 2 is a turn-based dungeon crawler game, in which you recruit a variety of adventurers to get into the top floor and earn loot. The loot can then be used to build the town and get better sodas for better adventurers. If you don't feel like playing, the game has optional auto combat that allows you to let your party fight while you do your work. The game is pretty old, but it's still fun to play. Tower and Bows, Tower and Swords. These are the dungeon crawler game, in which you will be climbing up the tower to grow and fight the enemies. Both games share the satisfying gameplay mechanics, with each having a completely different set of skills and weapons. The developer also updates both games regularly, balancing and adding more content to keep players engaged. Rogue Hunter is a challenging roguelike game, in which you will be exploring a medieval East Asia world, where the monsters known as Yogo are lurking around. The game has a massive amount of content, with over thousands of artworks, along with almost 100 endings based on your choices throughout the play. Kemco is known for making RPG games, and despite the similar gameplay, each game has unique story as well as the stunning arts and unique gameplay mechanics. These Kemco games will definitely keep you engaged for a long time. In RPG Alter Age, for example, players can switch between child and adult state. Each changes the character's types of skills as well as their personality to the story. The Detractor is basically Punch-Out but with roguelike elements, in which you must fight the way through the enemies and obstacles to get revenge on the king who despises you. Even though you will face the same type of enemy, they possess a variety of tricks as well as different tactics to keep the fight engaging. Since the gold can be saved even after being defeated, it is recommended to keep the gold to buy permanent and powerful items.
I really need more stamina. God, this is so cool. If I plot my place in, I probably could.
Wolf Hero is a mix of simulation and RPG, in which you can explore the island, fight robots, and help other animals. You can get other animals to help you temporarily by rescuing them, and you will also have a family that you must raise so that they can fight for you. It is pretty easy to grind without having to watch ads, so if you hate grindy gacha game, then definitely this game is for you. Ultra Pixel Survive 2 is an RPG survival game. Only this time you will be playing as 3 heroes instead of 1. The game has tag team mechanic, where you have to switch between characters, each with different strengths and weaknesses. The game has simple graphics, but also deep gameplay, challenging boss fights that require some preparation, and a variety of heroes to unlock and choose. Dawnblade is an hack-and-slash RPG game with satisfying combat and a variety of modes to keep you engaged. You will never fight alone, as you can have 2 pets with their own strengths to help you in battle. The grinding is fairly decent, as you get lots of rewards just by participating in events and quests. Before we continue, here are some honorable mentions. The Wanderer is a survival RPG game set in a post-apocalypse world. It is a text-based game with complex but easy-to-understand mechanics. Not only you must manage your hunger and thirst, but you must also take care of your illness and radiation, as well as the morale. Before starting the game, players can increase the difficulty by picking the challenges, such as less resources during scavenging, more powerful enemies, and even permadeath. Asmar Quest is one of a few RPG games that is actually challenging, as this game relies more on strategy rather than just being stronger. The game has a linear storyline, but offers a lot of choices that can affect the outcome of the game, along with some engaging mini-games during the journey to further enhance the single-player experience. There are not many online players, but you can fight against PvP bots that are just as challenging as the real players. Pocket Zone 2 is a survival RPG game in which you will be exploring a post-apocalypse world with lots of mutants and hazards. It is recommended to start traveling around the base first, as the enemies are generally weak enough for you to get loot and experience, and the enemies are stronger the further you go outside of the base.